I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Movies, TVs, blogs, and more. This is Blogger's Corner with Britt and Dr. Bones.
Go ahead.
Hi, welcome to the 50th episode of Blogger's Corner on the Dr. Bones Show. And welcome the host with the most, Dr. Bones. How are you doing today, Dr. Bones?
Very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Can't believe it's already been a whole year, eh?
I know, it's surprising, but it's flown by so fast.
There's so much that's gone on. We've done like entire season of Arrow, and we've done 2 seasons of Witches since it kind of fit in within that year. And plus all your blogs, there's a lot of music news and just so much, some little funny moments too that have gone over. Like I didn't have time to get through all of them to get the best of, but I will be putting a best of up hopefully by the end of the weekend. So just all our little kind of we'll call it miscommunicated moments, but they were funny anyways.
The best.
I mean, my favorite was from probably midway through the year when we were talking about certain actors, and I said, I probably wouldn't watch the show. And he said, no, it's okay because some people like the actors, blah blah. I was like, well, no, I just meaning because it's a chick flick.
That was a very memorable moment.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff like that, and I can't believe we're at a year already with this. So since there is nothing really new until next week, I mean, obviously, Teen Wolf ended its mid-season, and it's supposed to start back up in, I think it said January.
Yeah.
And there's a few others they're going to be starting next week. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, The Flash. There's a whole bunch starting up. So I know you probably did a few lists already of shows to look out for.
I did.
So why don't we start off with that? So we'll get rolling with that.
Okay, great. Well, obviously for the CW, I chose The Flash. I think that looks pretty decent. I know you're excited about it too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that there have been a lot of really good reviews, and the early buzz on it's been really good. And Felicity will be making an appearance, so there's kind of going to be a little bit of a crossover. So that's going to be cool.
No, that I've heard. So I've heard bits and pieces about it. So we'll see how that works, because I think at one point they're going to try to hook her up with Oliver for maybe an episode or 2.
Yeah, I heard about that they go on a date apparently, and it's kind of a disaster. So I didn't know they were at like let's have a first date level yet, but I'm excited to see how that kind of goes.
Oh, anything can happen. I know you love Felicity, so we'll see how it pans out. And it's just one of those things that I think that it's kind of a good idea, but it's kind of a bad idea just because kind of a work and pleasure sort of thing, I'm hoping it doesn't take away too much from the actual episode in action, because once it can go half decently, meaning obviously they can get Felicity a little bit more involved than she already is, but that might give other characters a little less, we'll say, airtime. Yeah. But anything's possible, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But more or less, I think I'm almost positive that they're pretty much going to hook her up with a Flash instead.
I could maybe character transition Flash. They might want to retool on Arrow. I don't know if Arrow really wants to let her go, because she is, in my opinion, a golden property. But you never know. Right.
Well, yeah. I don't think he'd let her go necessarily, but with all his marauding around, I don't think he's quite ready to settle down yet with everything going on. So they're probably gonna throw some a lot of drama and some turmoil in there as well.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. And I'm a little mixed, how when you get people together too soon, a lot of it is the build-up. Vampire Diaries fans know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But she finally left that one brother to go to the other brother, and it didn't really... what I had dreamed it was going to be like when they were together didn't quite match, and I think Small all the really smart things when they did Lois and Clark getting together. They built to it for so long that it did feel like they'd pay their dues. So, and they didn't really change. I think that's the big thing I get concerned about is, will the characters, now that they're together, change the DNA of how they were as a single person? And a lot of times that has an effect.
No, very true. Just a quick thing here. Even though the post it says Bloggers Corner 30, it's not 30th episode, just because I've downloaded a lot of episodes, so it gets confused in the counting numbers. But we are number 50, just to let everybody know.
Awesome.
So don't let the 30 fool you. Just because I've already downloaded a lot of them to start moving them over to Mixcloud. So yeah, even though it says 30, we're at 50, guaranteed.
50 is the new 30.
Yeah. Oh, if it is, then I'm screwed.
Oh
no. I'm 35 already, so I'm.
Well, have you taken that new? Have you taken that? There was a thing on BuzzFeed this week to test what your true mental age was or something, and I took it, and it said that I was 35, and I'm very curious to know what you are.
You know what? I haven't taken it, so I couldn't tell you. Yeah, a lot of those things I see, like I'm always kind of scared to see what it says, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it'll be. Either way, it's a good thing because if you're still around 20, you're still, feeling very youthful, perhaps, and then I don't know, 30. If you're older, I don't really know what that means. I mean, either way, it's kind of a positive thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just when you said, well, youthful, I just reminded me, because actually, we're gonna take a little sidetrack here, because watching some older movies recently, and one of them was the Austin Powers movie, and when he goes back, when Dr. Who goes back in time, and he sees number two, he's like, oh, number two, you look so youthful, so healthy, and Frau, you look so right. Hasn't changed a bit, right? But the one that really made me laugh, and I was watching it the other day, and because there's a lot of funny moments, is I still think it's just as good as the first one, but the second Wayne's World movie.
Oh.
I mean, there's a lot of funny spots in there, and two of my favorite parts of that movie. And actually, the other day I was watching it, and I just started laughing really hard. Was when Garth hooks up with Kim Basinger.
Okay.
And they go on he goes to her house for the date, and she's playing music, and she's dancing, and she goes, Garth, do you like to dance? And he's like, do you have any Megadeth? And I started dying laughing. He's like, that's so funny. And because, you know what, just thinking of myself, probably years ago, that's probably a question I would have asked, but if that music was going on, like, maybe not saying Megadeth, but I just started dying laughing. And so serious, dude, do you have any Megadeth? Like,
how romantic.
Yeah, exactly. And the other part, and it still kills me every time I see it, is when the diner they used to frequent, Nikita's, at the drive-thru, it says, if we get your order wrong, then we'll pay for it. So they pull up in the car, and he's like, and Wayne's like, shh, and then he's like muting, so he's getting cut off all the time. Yes, can I have an eam or ox? No. Oh yeah, and can I have it donut? And then he's like, well, let me see if I can recap that for you. And he gets everything right. He's like, is that it? He's like, yeah. Okay, drive around. Thanks. Just in complete disbelief that the guy got the entire order, even though you're only hearing like little bits and pieces of it.
I know, and isn't that funny? Because when you go through the drive-thru, that's how they sound, and so you're like, no, I can't believe they even got that right.
And a lot of time they're extremely loud. It's like, why are you yelling? And it goes both ways. It's not necessarily the person who's doing the drive-thru. It's a lot of times it's the person ordering, right? Because they'll be like, yeah, Big Mac, large fries. Like, all right, you don't need to yell at speakers like not even a foot away from you.
I totally know. That happened the other day. It was crazy. And then they sit there and you're thinking, oh my God, they're getting a entire meal for, the entire family. And then they get out there and no, it's just coffee.
Oh, I know. And that's the worst. And it's just, and sometimes it happens too where either people inside or in the drive-through. They'll get to the drive-through, they get to the speaker, and then they're humming and hawing of what they want. It's like, shouldn't you probably decide this before you got up to the speaker?
Exactly. I mean, so how many calories is in that? I'm like, well, you should have done that before you moseyed through the drive-through.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing, there's a huge lineup, and they're like, what's in that? Get that? Oh no, maybe I'll take this instead. It's like, oh my god, get to the point. There's people waiting.
My thoughts exactly.
Like, George is getting upset.
I know. I'm looking forward to it because I heard that they're gonna probably start using an app to do the drive-through and stuff.
Oh,
have you heard
really?
about that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's a thing now. So apparently that's the way of the future. So we might not have those conversations much longer.
Oh, is that really smart though? Aren't they trying to get people not to like text and do everything when they drive? Like,
well, my thoughts exactly. And my guess is that you would just type it on in, and then you would show up kind of like a takeout order.
Right. Well, that's almost kind of annoying, Like that's almost even worse than people. Because like.
It does have that.
Well, I know, because if you think of it, there's obviously you think it from different sides. Like, well, they get up there. Like, what if they have everything, and then they get up there, and then now they change their mind. Now they gotta switch. They gotta switch the order again. It's like, oh, for the love of God, like.
Well, that is very true, because when they placed it, they felt like they wanted one thing, and now that they're showing up, they want another. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, like, because people's cravings change, right? You could be heading to like one of the major food chains, and then you can say, well, I was really hankering this, and now it's like, oh, maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want something else.
That is very true, and very possible. And people, by the way, on their phones, let me just say this. The other day, driving, trying to merge onto the highway, and we're going down a ramp. And this guy is going so freaking slow. You got to pick up highway speed before you can get out. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? So slow. I swear he's going about 10 miles per hour. He sticks his hand outside of his car. I'm thinking, okay, here comes like an obscene gesture. He takes his phone. He starts shaking his cell phone like, I'm on the phone. What is your problem?
What?
I seriously could not believe my eyes. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Now you've shown me your phone, and I'm supposed to understand, oh, you were on your phone. I'm so sorry. You're not supposed to be driving right now. You're supposed to be talking on the phone. My bad.
Wow.
Karmic justice would have been a bird flapping down and biting the phone out of his hand and flying away with it.
You ready? Yoink! All of a sudden you see a bird with a huge iPhone in its mouth, right?
Exactly.
Oh man.
Awesome.
No, it just kills me. Like I've said many times now, the drivers are getting worse and worse by the day. It's just it's almost beyond irritating. It's not because I'm in a rush to get anywhere. It's just that they're just not paying attention, like plain and simple.
Exactly.
And the thing that really irritates the living out of me is the street by my house, like one of the main roads by my house, at one point it merges into one lane, and there's signs, so it's like now you can't see it, and people try to race up their side and try to cut in.
Yes.
And I do whatever I can to hop on the other guy's bumper in front of me to cut the off and make them wait until everybody's passed and they can come in line. It's not a passing lane, buddy. It's a merging lane. And it just
exactly
drives me nuts. So as much as possible, if I see it coming, I will close that gap off and not make any room.
Good for you.
But then the other person goes, no, it's okay. Come in. It's like, oh my God, come on. I worked this hard to cut him off so he wouldn't get in. So we have to wait instead of being a douche, So.
Exactly. It's always that weak link, Try to stay strong, united, and then someone breaks the bond.
Well, that's right. But either way, I mean, it's like that's my pet peeve, and it happens more often than I'd like.
Same here.
But we'll get back to your blogs. I know it was a little sidetracked there, so let's get back into the shows that you marked down as shows to watch out for.
Okay. Over at CBS, they have a new show called Scorpion, which is basically about a team of computer